because we think these are things that only happen to other people, and we minimise stuff that's happening to us. So we go, well, you know, sure, they might get angry and you know, a little bit scary from time to time, but, you know, at least he isn't hitting me, or she isn't hitting me, or, you know, this person might be looking through my phone and being really controlling, but, you know, they're not doing, you know, really extreme things like you hear about on the telly or read in the news. If a person is beginning to behave in ways that are physically abusive or emotionally abusive or sexually abusive, that doesn't stop. It tends to escalate. Now, the usual cycle is something might happen, the person will be apologetic, it'll all be good for a while, and then we'll all start to go downhill again. So you can't afford to say, well, it just happened once, it was only this, it was only that. You have to step back and say, actually what happens is that behaviours, unless something changes, behaviours repeat and behaviours tend to escalate. So it's important to do something about it now. If you're concerned about stuff, do something. It doesn't mean you have to go out and, you know, kind of call in the armed forces and, you know, yell out with a bullhorn, but you need to go and talk to someone outside of your own head, someone outside of your immediate situation. Sit down with someone else and go, okay, I've got concerns. Is that reasonable? What do you think I should do? Talk to someone. You kind of know when it's not okay. And what's important is that you really listen to that feeling. Even if it's your first relationship, you're still going to have a feeling when you get that little niggling voice that goes, this is not okay.
The Domestic Violence Act says that violence in all its forms is unacceptable behaviour. That's the policy of the Act. And it's physical abuse, sexual abuse, and psychological abuse. Threats to property is violence. And when children see and hear violence, that is violence in itself. So the Act is very specific. There's a lot of case law now about what is psychological abuse. It's intimidation, harassment, multiple texting, that kind of degree of harassment or intrusion on their privacy, or anything that makes them feel fearful is violence. But that's not just physical abuse.